All right, good morning everybody. It's Thursday, the 4th of June, and welcome to your hump day workout. So normally in the fitness world, Thursday is the day that we don't feel like exercising. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday rest, Friday, weekend. Okay, so what we got today? We've got a nice little workout there. We've got an EMOM, so it's every minute on the minute, and we're working for 10 minutes. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do 20 mountain climbers and 10 walking lunges. We've got to try and get all 20 mountain climbers and all 10 walking lunges done within the minute. Rest whatever time is left, and then start the next minute, go again. 20 mountain climbers, 10 walking lunges. So today's all about legs and lungs, a little bit of midline work. You may find this is going to challenge the shoulders and some shoulder stability. A little bit of core work on the mountain climbers, legs and lungs for the walking lunges. Okay, exciting little workout for 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes long. Shouldn't hurt for too much. Okay, let's have a quick look at the movements for mountain climbers. So for mountain climbers, what we are doing is we are going to do, a big focus on the mountain climbers is to make sure that we are stabilizing the shoulder girdle. Okay, so the shoulder girdle tends to float a little bit. We've got to engage this shoulder girdle here, pull back down so the shoulders are stabilized, midline is nice and tight, and then connecting this rib cage in that mountain climber position. So from there, shoulder blades back, chin pulled up and in, tummy tucked in, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The slower we work with this one, the more shoulder stability required, the harder the core is going to work. But what you have to make sure is that you don't take too long on the mountain climbers, okay, because then you're going to use up all your time for the walking lunges, and then you only get halfway through your walking lunges, and then next minute, go, you've got to start all over again. So we need to time your mountain climbers. You should be taking 20 seconds, probably not more than 25 seconds for your mountain climbers. So we may need to speed up your mountain climbers slightly more to make sure you get that work done in time. So you can get into your walking lunges, get your walking lunges done, give yourself at least 10 seconds rest, if not even up to 15 seconds rest before the next minute starts. Okay. So if you need to go slightly slower, 1, hold. Okay, that's about every minute or every second. There's a rep. If you go to slightly faster, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, I don't want this because that's going to burn through your reps. It will push your heart rate up more, but it's not going to work your shoulders and your midline as much. And then into your walking lunges. So a little bit slower with the walking lunges. 1 rep every second should count. That will give you 20 seconds, which means you've got 40 seconds to get your walking lunges done. So your walking lunges. Okay, remember, good hip mechanics, stomach tight, hop, touch, press up, 1, hop, press up, 2, hop, press up, 3, and you do, so either 10 in one direction, or 5 in that direction, turn around, hop, press up, 5 in the opposite direction, coming back. That's your workout. Your mountain climbers, most of you should be okay with your mountain climbers, okay? Even nice and slow, hold that position. I think with the mountain climbers, just make sure you're not pushing your bum up in the air, so you're not up here doing this. Try and get the shoulders over the top of the hands. If that becomes too much for you, you can hold it, okay? Just holding a plank position. If your wrists don't like that plank position, you can come onto your elbows, okay? If you can't hold it there. If the body doesn't like that, you can change it into 10 sit-ups. 10 sit-ups. Touch, top of the toes. Okay, it won't be as demanding. It's not going to push your heart rate up as a mountain climbers mic. Okay, so that's your mountain climbers, and then your walking lunges. Scaling options for your walking lunges. Just do an air squat. 10 air squats. Hop, hop, hips. Same glute hip mechanic emphasis on the walking lunges, but just doing 10 air squats. Rest the remainder of the time. Next minute goes. Let's see, you've done that. You can do reverse lunges for your walking lunges. Okay, so you get this. So you got a hip pressing back, touch. So you're on the spot. So if you don't have anywhere to walk, then you're stepping back for your reverse lunges. Okay, guys, that's it. If you need a little bit more info on your warm-up briefing and other scaling options, we'll go through those now. Okay guys, so now your warm-up for today. So we're going to run for 5 minutes, you're going to skip for 5 minutes, anything to get that heart rate up. Skipping again is another great, there's a bit of work in the shoulders that we're going to be doing here. Also a bit of work in the shoulders, so some skipping is some nice rotator cuff, getting that nice and warm. You can do some jumping jacks, hands flying by the side, backs and forwards, find a line to jump over, Just get moving for 5 minutes to push that heart rate up. Then we're going to do 2 rounds of this. We're going to do 30 seconds of 5 air squats, 5 bootstrap stretches. We do 30 seconds of wall holds. We do 30 seconds of plank object taps, and we do 30 seconds of push-ups. So let's show you what those are. So the first one is just 5 air squats and then 5 bootstrap stretches. So 5 air squats, hips pressing back, hop, 1. Also actually, so start 30 seconds, 3, 2, 1, hop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's like about 6, 7 seconds. Knees press open. 1, stretch, stretch, stretch the bottom, push those knees open, drop the hips down. Step so your bootstrap stretch. 1, 2, 3. Press 1, 2, 3. Press 1, 2, 3. 10 seconds to go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I can take my time with those bootstrap stretches. Then we're going to go into a wall squat hold. So you've got a door ready or a wall ready. And we're going to drop into a squat, back straight, chest up. 3, 2, 1, up, and I'm sit. I'm going to hold. Stomach tight, knees pressing open, driving through my quads. You're going to feel these quadriceps are going to fire. Stomach's going to work really hard. If you want to do this, like you're in school and you're getting punished, you can do that. If you just want to say, oh, this is easy, it's not a problem. Okay, as soon as your legs start to shake, then you know you're working hard. But keep that stomach tight. I don't want you to feel that you're sliding down the wall. Okay, if you need to come off nice and safely. To scale that, don't go as deep. Just go halfway. Drive those knees open. That's going to get those glutes to fire. Stomach tight, chest up, shoulders back, against the wall, chin pulled in, so this is working, and hold for 30 seconds. Okay. The warmer you get, the deeper you can start working. Next, I'm going to do plank object taps. So, working in a plank position, feet about shoulder width apart, slightly wider than usual, and I want to stop this body rolling from side to side. It can be an object tap or a shoulder tap. If you've got something that you want to tap in front, tap, 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 tap. If you haven't got an object, just shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3. Shoulder blades pulled back, so you're stabilizing the shoulder girdle. Tummy tucked in, so you're not arching that lower back. Glutes nice and tight, knees locked out, feet shoulder width apart, no movement in the hips from side to side. And we're doing 30 seconds shoulder tapping left and right. Then we're going to do 30 seconds of push-ups. So we're getting that shoulders warm. From there, 3, 2, 1, next 30 seconds. Chest to floor. 1, do those knees to floor. Get that full range of movement across the chest. Push up. Right, knees to floor. Pressing up. If you can do strict push-ups. 1, 2, do 30 seconds of strict push-ups. If you need to rest slightly, after those 4 rounds of 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Let your heart rate come back, and then we do a second round. 30 seconds of air squats with a bootstrap stretch. I'm going to do 30 seconds of a wall squat hold up against the wall, 30 seconds of plank shoulder taps, 30 seconds of push-ups. That'll take you 1, 2, less than 5 minutes to do that little activation round, getting warm in the shoulders round. Okay guys, so as you know, for the month of June, we have a project inverted. So we're getting upside down, working on those 3 weaknesses. We're looking at either your fear of getting upside down, getting the head down with the hips up. We're looking at shoulder mobility, okay, not only shoulder mobility here, but also that thoracic extension through the shoulders, being able to up to the shoulders, so our shoulder overhead position. And then we're looking at strength, okay, being able to get into a good overhead position, looking to lock those elbows out, looking to lock the shoulders out, and developing the strength where we need it to be able to maintain either a handstand or even just an overhead position. Okay, so the benefit of working handstands, besides gymnastics and your vestibular system that we're looking to work on, handstands or being upside down may translate to having a strong overhead position, lifting something up overhead, whether that's a suitcase into an overhead compartment, or up into the top of the cupboard, being able to reach for a pot or pan at the top. That's what the skill and that range of movement and the strength and overhead position translates to. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to have to go walk around doing handstands, but you can if you want to. Okay, so what we're looking for today, we've got project inverted session number 2. And what we're looking for, what we're focusing on is handstand stability, or we're looking for stability in that shoulder girdle. So often in the shoulder girdle, we think that strength through the shoulder girdle in that over position comes from either our chest or our pec or our deltoids, our shoulders in this area. Shoulder stability doesn't actually come from this here, it comes from this here. So if you think about the shoulder floating in space and time, you can see that what's working is all of this, and this is what does the shrug. When we connect the shoulder to the body down, what's working are these subscaps, okay, teres major, all the shoulder girdle work down the bottom here is what stabilizes the shoulder work. So what we're trying to do is we're going to work on your range of movement, make sure you get a good range of movement, and then we're going to focus on trying to get this to stabilize to give you a better overhead position. So today's about shoulder stability. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some shoulder shrugs in the handstand. We're going to do some alternating hand releases in the handstand, and we're going to do 10 to 20 reps of each, and we do 3 rounds of that. Okay. We've got some warm-up work that we want to do before we get into the handstand work first. So the first progression, even while working on the shoulder shrug in the handstand, is just going to be a kneeling shrug. So what we're looking to do is we're trying to get as much mobility in the shoulders, but we're also trying to teach the body to activate and engage these subscaps, or that subscapular shoulder girdle in that region. From there, chin tucked in. I don't want to see the head dropping down. Keep the chin tucked in, lower tummy is tucked in. And we're just going to drop the shoulders down as deep as you can and press up. 1. Drop the shoulders down, press up as much as I can to your side. I want to get to there. I want to try and push through that end range of movement as much as I can. Drop the shoulders down, pressing up, drop the shoulders down, pressing up. You can do between 5 to 10 of those, and that's just going to build that awareness around that scapular area, okay, as well as start to develop range of movement and strength for those of you who don't have the strength. The next progression from a kneeling position is to go into a push-up position. Stomach nice and tight, drop the shoulders down, 1, 2, 1, 2, shoulders down, 1, 2. I'm not trying to drop my head too much, it's not just my head moving, it's actually my shoulders pressed through, drop my chest, push through the arms, drop my shoulders through, push through the arms. The push-up position is a little bit more difficult compared to the knees. That's the intention, okay? We're looking for about 10 reps on the knees, 10 reps in the push-up position, first things first. That push-up position may be enough from a strength perspective to start to develop that shoulder girdle stability and strength. The next progression from a push-up position is to go into an overhead pike. So we're going to do a push back. From there, pushing back, and I'm working that end range of movement, so I'm looking for a nice long lockout through the shoulders, scap is engaged, and then I'm doing that same thing. I'm shrug, press through, shrug down, press through, shrug down, press through, okay? If you can't quite get that, okay, either in a standing or a kneeling or a sitting position, you can hold your hands overhead and press up and down, pull the shoulders back and down, press up, pull shoulders back and down, press up, pull shoulders back and down. If I'm working from the side, what you're seeing is the work here. Press up, shoulders back and down. Press up, shoulders back and down. Give yourself 10 reps on that. You can even do that before you even go into that upside down pike position, just to build familiarity around the movement. Okay? It's not something that people do a lot of. So the more awareness you can develop around that shoulder girdle, the better strength you're going to start to develop. The next one we're going to go into some kind of a pike. So we're going to either feet up on a wall or a full handstand. So it's going to look like this. All right, so if you're doing a pike, okay, working in the pike position, feet are going to come up halfway, and we're holding, and we're going to drop the shoulders down, press the shoulders, drop the shoulders down, press the shoulders, drop the shoulders down, press the shoulders. Between 5 and 10 reps of that, and then do the work. Next progression. So if you're going to progress up to a handstand, do all these different progressions to get up to the handstand. It's going to get your shoulders warm. It'll prepare for you that upside down position before you're going fully loaded on the shoulders. Okay? If you're not going to go all the way up into handstand, then stop at one of those progressions and then just work at that progression to get the work done. Next one is a full upside down, handstand, arms locked out, feet locked out, and then the shrugs in that upside down position. So from there, we're kicking up, press, lock, feet up over the wall, make sure your bum's not against the wall, so I'm just locking, squeezing my bum together, pointing my toes, press the shoulders, dip, 1, 2, 2, whoop, 2. Try and maintain a strong lockout in the body, a strong midline, squeeze the glutes, press, and I'm shrugging again, 5 to 10 reps to get the work done if you're in that overhead position, and that's going to be your shoulder shrugs in a handstand. Okay. The next one we're going to look at is trying to do an alternating hold in an overhead position. Let's have a quick look at that. 10 shoulder shrugs, kneeling position, push-up position, pike position, feet up on the wall, 10 shrugs, okay? Even if you're just sitting, working with the PVC pipe in that overhead position. Next one is gonna be 20 hand releases. So we're gonna start in a kneeling position first, then we're gonna go into a push-up position, then we're gonna go into a pike position, last we'll do a handstand. Okay, so alternating hand releases. So starting in a kneeling position. This may feel or may look really simple, okay, but the idea is to try and maintain a strong scapular position and not allow this shoulder to bunch up towards the ears. As soon as this shoulder is floating forward around the ears, we're not engaging here, okay? Shoulders back, push through, tummy tucked in, touch, lock out to the shoulders, touch, lock out, touch, lock out, touch. So every time my hand comes back down to the floor, I'm making sure my shoulder girdle, my scapulars are engaged. Touch, press back, touch, press back. Kneeling position first, do 5 reps each side, do 10 in total. If that's easy enough, push-up position. Okay, we have done this for the warm-up, okay, as part of the workout. Shoulder blades pull back, touch, shoulders back set, touch, shoulders back set, touch, shoulders back set, touch, shoulders back set. Do the reps slow enough that you can focus on keeping those shoulders back, and that every time before you change sides that you're loading that shoulder girdle, engage the scapulars, control the midline, touch nice and slow. That's going to be your shoulder taps, your alternating shoulder taps in a push-up position. Next one is to do that in a pike position, in an overhead position. You're going to press back, push back to the pike, arms locked out, and we're going to touch, touch, press, touch, press, touch, and we're locking out. Shoulders locked out, touch, press, scapulars engaged. And that same thing that we're doing in the push-up position is to make sure I'm locked and engaged before I change hands. Okay, the next one we're going to do is going to do the same thing, alternating hands in an overhead lock-up position, but with our feet up against the wall. So from there, stomach nice and tight, feet up against the wall, and you're going to make sure the feet are here, arms locked out, push through the shoulders, bend the knees a little bit, and you're going to touch. 1, 2, touch, 3, touch, 4, touch, 5. And we're locking out, shifting. So this wall's a little bit narrow for me, so I'm feeling like my body's moving a little bit more. The wider you take your feet up on the wall, the more stability you're going to be able to maintain through the hips, less rocking in the body. And then the last one is to do this up against the wall. I'm going to do it this side, give myself a little bit more space. So handstand position, if you're strong enough, right? So if you feel that you had enough strength in that overhead position, then we're going to do a full handstand from there, kick up, against the wall. You may need to put those feet slightly wider, squeeze the glutes, and then we're shifting. Touch, 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 touch. Yes, your hips are going to rock a bit more. Touch, touch, touch. So you're working through strong overhead position, stabilizing through the scaps, elbows locked out, stomach as tight as possible, pressing up, alternating shoulder taps. Okay, that's your project inverted for the day. Take your time with it. It's not something that you need to rush. I don't think it's something that you can rush, okay? Otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to end up being too tired. You're not going to get through the work, and you're going to start dominating the movement in areas where I don't want you to dominate. I don't want the work up here. I want the work all about here. Strong elbows and locked. Okay, guys. Give yourself 3 rounds of that. Use the different scaling options. Find something that's suitable for you to get those 3 rounds of work done. And that's your project inverted session number 2. Okay, guys. So then the last little bit of work before the workout. Your shoulders are going to be super warm after doing this. You don't have to do too much of this. We just want to make sure that you're still warm for the lunges, that your glutes are still nice and warm, and we've got good mobility in the hips so that your lunges and your mountain climbers are set. So if you feel like you still need to do the shoulder plank taps, we're going to go back into those tap positions. So from there, there's a little bit of accessory work, a bit of extra strength work on top of the shoulder work that you've done. 20 shoulder taps, 10 shoulder taps each side. We can also do a foot tap. So if you feel like you've done enough shoulder work, we can work on this lower pelvis, engaging the midline, feet and knees together, touch, stomach tight, touch, stomach tight, touch, stomach tight. 10 foot taps each side. And then we're going to do an air squat with an up and over fence. So we're working on mobility into the hips. So air squat, hips press back, external rotation, internal rotation, air squat, external rotation, internal rotation, air squats. I'm going to do 20 up and over fence, alternating direction over time. I'm going to do 2 rounds. If you're doing shoulder taps, that's fine. If you do foot taps, 20 of those. And then a second round again, up and over fence, 20 air squats. And that should give you nice and warm for the workout. Every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. 20 mountain climbers. Make sure you're getting that work done. If you can pause a little bit and get that work done within 20 to 25 seconds, that's great. Walking lunges, there and back, 20 seconds. Will give you 15 to 10 seconds of rest. Next minute starts, go again, do 10 rounds. 10 minutes. That's your Thursday workout. Have fun.